Now, the train was traveling about 70 miles an hour, and when it struck Smith's car, debris like this flew about 25 feet in the air. We've seen how these 3D printers are creating all kinds of objects, but can you imagine printing and growing a human body part? Well, you don't have to imagine, because they're doing it right here in this lab at Wake Forest. So how often do you think you're being watched? Because it turns out it may be more than you think. Tonight is a big night for the Republican Party as Mitt Romney accepts his nomination to run against current President Barack Obama. In just hours apart and within miles of each other. And tonight, police are still looking for the drivers. Here behind me is the Black Box Theater. This building will be torn down in a few short months and will be replaced with a reflecting pool. Denise Smith was on her way home in Gibsonville when she got stuck in between the crossing arms and on the train tracks of an oncoming train.
It was nothing but the Lord. The Lord told me to get out of the car, and the train came and just demolished my car.
Smith was trying to turn onto Springwood Avenue, but says a tractor trailer was in her way.
The truck was just so long. The tractor trailer was pulling something, so it was so long.
So Smith waited for the truck to pass, only to find herself in harm's way.
All I saw was the arms coming down, and then I said, oh no, and then I started looking for the train. That's when I realized the train was coming.
That's when something told her to get out of the car.
I couldn't believe it. I took 2 steps and looked back, and the train hit my car that quick.
Anthony DeNegris lives on Springwood Avenue, about 100 feet from the tracks, and says he's never seen anything like it.
First thing that came to my mind was that somebody died in that accident right there.
But that wasn't the case here.
And it's just, she's a very lucky lady.
Nothing but thankful. I'm thankful. To God be the glory.
Here at West End Ministries, the line is out the door for a hot meal, but this line was nothing compared to the amount of people present on Thanksgiving Day, said Jim Summey, the co-founder of West End Ministries.
It's 20 whole turkeys plus everything with it, the dressing and mashed potatoes and green beans and candied yams and a bunch of other desserts and fresh vegetable trays and all that stuff. It's just a little feast.
West End Ministries is looking to prepare around 200 pounds of food for the feast, starting the week of the 21st, and will continue to be prepared until the start of the feast on Thanksgiving Day. It's not just about the meal for some folks. It's a sense of community and having a place to go.
It's tradition. You know, we have our traditions with our family, and they're part of our family, so that's just a tradition.
The Thanksgiving feast happened on November 26th at 12 noon. Tonight, the students at High Point University came together to do something extraordinary once again. Ever since Hurricane Sandy pounded the East Coast, students and faculty alike have come together to raise money to help out the disaster victims and their families. What started out as a small hometown project grew very quickly with the aid of the Student Government Association.
This is a campus of giving, a campus of care, a campus of concern, and a campus that will give of itself to help others.
Tonight, during the halftime show in Millis Athletic Center, Student Government Association President Tyler Steelman and Dean of Students Paul Kittle presented a check to the amount of $22,000 to Mrs. Christy Dvorak, Director of the American Red Cross in High Point.
Well, it means for me, and I think for all students here, that we get to help our friends, our communities, our neighbors, our families. And for me, not being affected by it, I get to help my own friends, my own family, who are up in that area who were affected by the storm. So it's a great way for me to be able to help out all the way from North Carolina.
Thanks to the ongoing generous support of students, faculty, and members of the High Point community, we were able to provide food, shelter, relief supplies, and comfort to the thousands of people on the East Coast affected by Hurricane Sandy, and showing the world once again that HPU cares. I'm Sarah Martin, Senior Communications Major at High Point University.